Now in this video, you're going to learn how to ask the right committing questions, also known as closing questions, at the right time in the conversation to allow your prospects to close themselves. Now, I have to ask, are you going in for the kill with your closing techniques? Are you following the ABCs of closing? You know, I just read a quote from one of the old sales gurus, and he had like a picture of all this cash in his hand, and he says, you got to close more so you can make more cake. Now, I'm going to ask you, if you think this way and you keep using traditional closing techniques, I'm going to suggest to you that you're going to keep losing deals. You'll keep losing sales and losing hundreds of thousands of dollars that could be in your bank account. Have you ever considered that the old selling techniques, old closing techniques, do nothing more than pressure your potential clients? Ask yourself, how do you feel when a salesperson is trying to close you? Do you feel pressure? They of course do. They feel like they're being closed and chased. And what do most people do when they feel chased? They run. They naturally want to retreat away from that sales pressure. And that sales pressure is coming from you. What do you do when you feel pressure from a salesperson? You run as well. So what if you could learn how to avoid all that, the push-pull dynamic between you and your potential customers? Would you actually find the sales process more, let's say, natural and enjoying than when you try to force things? I would say that selling will be much more profitable for you and more of a fulfilling experience for you, and most importantly, for your customers. Now, in the new model of selling, the seven-figure salesperson does not even use the term closing. They understand that the word has a negative stigma around it for your potential customers. Ask yourself, how would you feel if you overheard a salesperson who was selling you something that they had just closed you? You see, the seven-figure salesperson, they use the word committing, never closing. A commitment to take the next step and purchase your solution. Now, at this point in the sales process, the commitment to move forward is a very natural step because you've already presented back what they've told you they're looking for and how your solution will help them. So it takes two forms. Number one, a commitment to take a series of intermediate action steps, which of course lead to the sale. Number two, a commitment to purchase your solution and do business with you and your company. Now's when you're going to make a suggestion. Because you'll come to a point where you'll need to decide on one of two action steps. Either ask for the commitment to join you or to start with you or purchase your service, or make a suggestion to take another step in the process of further discovery for them to move toward making a final decision. But whatever you do, ask for the commitment to do something. If your potential customer needs to take more steps forward to make a decision, then this is where you'll selectively use the sales tools that are available to you. You'll make a statement and then ask one of the following questions if you feel like they need more steps before they're going to purchase your solution. Let's go to the script. Mr. Jones, with your permission, what I'd like to suggest to you as the next step is, and then I've listed about 5 or 6 things that you can say right here. Let's talk about them. You could suggest we review more about your business plan you discussed. You could suggest we look more closely at the products. You could also suggest we meet some other members of the company. You could also say we look more closely at some of the problems you discussed. You could also say we have another meeting to see if we can help you. As well as we get you a brochure or a website that goes over how we might be able to help your situation. And then at the end, you would say, would that be appropriate? Now, you want to make your potential customer feel that they are part of the process instead of trying to pull the bag over their head like 99% of salespeople do. Always make sure that you both make commitments to do something by a certain time frame to keep progressing through the buying process. Get your prospective customer involved with you in the process. They will feel that you are there to help them, not just make a sale. Remember, different people will move at different speeds. Sometimes it can take many smaller steps before the final one of buying from you. So to keep them involved, you can also ask, what would you like to see next? Or how would you like to proceed from here? Until you've covered everything that is of interest to them. Now I'm going to give you 3 very powerful committing questions that, if used properly, can take you from wherever you're at right now to, I would say, making well over $250,000, $500,000, even over $1 million a year in income. When you know at the end of the sales process that it's time to commit them to take the next step and purchase your solution, you're going to ask, let's take a look at this on the script here. Do you feel like this could be what you're looking for? Now, this is a very neutral question, but yet very powerful. I will tell you, if you have done your job in the discovery process, during the sales process, 95% of your prospective customers will say, yes, it is. Then you're going to ask. Let's take a look at the document. Well, why do you feel like it is, though? Once again, you're going to ask more than just a surface question. Why? Because not only do they tell you why they feel your solution is right for them, but more importantly, who are they telling? They're telling themselves why your solution is the best. And when people tell you why they want to work with you, do you think it's more persuasive than you trying to tell them why they should work with you? You're then going to ask, and let's take a look at the script here. So do you feel like this is something you can do to get you where you're wanting to go in your life? This is powerful because in their mind, they look at your solution as long-term. It's something that can get them where they're wanting to go. Then you're going to say, why do you feel like it is? Again, they tell you, and more importantly, they tell themselves why it's right for them. You're then going to ask the final commitment question. Well, John, I don't really have anything else to go over with you. It looks like we've covered the basis of what you're looking for. Really, the next step would be is we'd make some type of an arrangement for, you can do a wire or a credit card, and at that point, then you're going to tell them the next steps after they purchase. Then you're going to say, would that be appropriate, or how would you like to proceed from here? Or you can say, where should we go from here? Watch the power that you will actually have once you give up what you thought was power by trying to assume the sale and trying to close them. They will look at you completely different than any salesperson they've ever dealt with. In fact, they won't even view you as a salesperson anymore. They will view you as a trusted advisor. What would happen to your sales conversations if your prospect viewed you as an advisor rather than a dreaded salesperson?